former President Trump be sending the DA of Manhattan, of New York City, rather, a thank you card for all of this publicity?
Well, probably not a thank you card for the potential indictment that could conceivably cause some problems. Although we should point out that there's no law against someone running for president while under indictment for a potential misdemeanor in the city of New York, nor is there a law about somebody being elected president. So you bring up this very good point that Donald Trump does best when he is counterpunching. And there is no possible way to have united the Republican Party and even united a lot of Democrats in the way that Alvin Bragg has, not necessarily in support of Donald Trump, but in anger over how the justice system is being used in what certainly appears to be a very politically motivated prosecution. It's going to be very difficult for Alvin Bragg to say it's something other than a politically motivated prosecution when he used to brag about going after Donald Trump so often. So how is this not going after Donald Trump specifically? And we've seen every time that when Donald Trump is attacked, his poll numbers go up.
That's so true. And I think a lot of people would say he's fighting back with the best tactics that he can. But whether or not Trump is charged, what happens with Stormy Daniels? What happens with Michael Cohen?
Who knows? It's probably one of the best things that's ever happened to Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen as well. Michael Cohen went from Trump's fixer to turncoat to now champion of the left and still on CNN every day or whatever network he can get on, trying to talk about how much he hates Donald Trump. And Stormy Daniels is certainly now relevant once again. So who really knows what happens to them? But relevancy is a thing right now in 2023. I'm trying to remember. I think it was P.T. Barnum who said, like, so long as they spell my name right, it's good publicity. Which at least these, Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen don't seem to have any interest in going away.
One quick question for you. Is it fair to ask when the DA is up for a re-election? Because clearly a lot of people claiming this is all political theater.
I believe he was elected, was it 2 years ago?
That sounds about right.
And he was the one who, when he came into office, said, I am not going to prosecute a whole list of crimes. He set out, and remember, he sets policy for thousands of attorneys who prosecute all the crimes in New York. Just think about Law and Order. He's the district attorney. And he set out a whole list of crimes that he would no longer prosecute and list of crimes he would no longer seek jail sentences for, some of which were pretty serious crimes. So will the voters hold him responsible? Who knows? There's a lot of people in New York who love nothing more than going after Donald Trump. And remember, it's not only Alvin Bragg, it's also Letitia James, who's the New York Attorney General. There's another case involving her going against Donald Trump. And she's the one who literally ran on a platform of going after Donald Trump. That was her campaign, and she won.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.